And I always think that the name, when you give it, is a validation of the person. You're not just you're naming each one. So this next poem is called "By Name We Called You," and the "we" could be a divine trinity, but it could be all our ancestors calling down till we have our name. By name we called you, oh dear descendant. Every night we watch you wander where the gas lamps burn, the ones that flicker one on one on one, and call you by your name, which means the lamplighter will bring repeatedly the unraveling of dark. He'll draw one orange leaf against the curse and shadow near and far. Oh dear descendant, you were given wealth, scrawled, signed, and watermarked to settle bills with paper. Half the debt accrued in war, the other calmly paid. This satisfies our need to raise a true inheritor, a child for all eternity, by way of star and nightfall. Why pretend that strength resides in millions? One world to match against our age, one world orbiting with this thought. You have a fortune. Count the lanterns, child, the kind of fortune your ancestors made. Walk up the sidewalk. Wake it with your name. The value of each name. I like sidewalks. I like the sidewalks of old cities that are so wide. You see the buildings and the storefronts on one side and the trees on the other, and you can walk these sidewalks. But this is a landscape we don't usually have anymore. We moved to more rural area. Williamsburg doesn't have those sidewalks, but so we change our landscape. But there is one landscape we take everywhere we go, and that's the landscape of our body. That's our initial landscape. So this next poem is called Mortality, and it is getting sort of trying to get used to the fact that we live in this mortal landscape of our bodies. It's called Mortality. How can we live inside this house? A house that knows the door is done, that bones give what a bone allows, a ribcage for a robin. Too soon for spring, it says, but feathers lick the window sills, and dogs yap while their haunches dip, swishing their eager tails. How can we dream beyond the sun, comfort in golden disregard, courage in its resplendent gun, our screens half-hiding orchids, when just before the sun's undress we pull a leaf to pull a birth, are waking to the day's address, where flagstones yield to moss. From shadows and from lesser yields, nightfall that confiscates our room, I learn of bright outlying fields. It will be fine, to leave this rented consequence with nothing but our borrowed feet, to trade this kin, our reach, our dearth, both our sanctuary and our residence, for far nearer to our bones than we, for a vacancy in glory.